Midnight breathes over the room, my child. The candle trembles as if it, too, has heard the whisper that crosses eternity. I lean close to your ear and murmur, "Awaken, beloved." Your heart stirs, uncertain if it beats from dream or revelation. A clock sighs in the corner, its hands crawl toward 3. Outside, wind brushes the window like unseen wings testing the glass. You sense another rhythm beside you, a breath not quite your own. Do you feel it? I ask softly. Something within you prepares to flee the light. The air thickens, gold-threaded with shadow. My voice breaks through the veil, rise not in fear but awareness. There is still time, precious soul, though time itself trembles. The room listens, the silence holds its breath. You were not meant to slumber through this hour of choosing, I whisper. Heaven knocks at your inner door. Message 2, the tremor beneath. The flame bends toward the unseen. Your eyelids flutter as I speak again, beloved, this night bears witness to a secret departure. The heartbeat beside you quickens, yet when you turn, you see only your own reflection in the dim glass. The air smells of myrrh and storm. Do not fear, I breathe, wings brushing through your thoughts. The one who sleeps beside you is not another, it is the part of you that no longer believes. The clock sighs, 1 minute closer to the hour. My child, heaven's mercy waits, but shadows are restless travelers. A tremor runs through the bed, soft as regret. Listen, I say, for what you hear now is the stirring of doubt, seeking the door before dawn. Message 3, the second breath. Candlelight flickers across your face, gilding your tears. I watch over you, luminous and sorrowed. Beloved, I whisper, can you hear it? That other breathing, steady, shallow, echoing your own? The presence beside you shifts, the blanket dips, though no mortal hand moves it. Fear tastes like iron on your tongue. It is not an intruder, precious soul, I tell you. It is your forgotten self, dreaming of escape. The shadow beside you curls like smoke, murmuring in half-formed thoughts. Do not let it rise without redemption. Around you, the walls hum with unseen wings, a choir too distant to comfort. Faith must waken before the flesh, I warn. For when the hour turns, choice will divide your spirit from its peace. Message 4, the whispered plea. My light trembles as I descend closer. My child, I say, the sleeper beside you grows restless. You turn, there, the faint outline of a figure wrapped in your own shape. It exhales sorrow, whispering your name through unseen lips. The air grows colder, yet the candle burns higher. Beloved, you stand at the edge of revelation, I murmur. Every unspoken pain, every buried doubt gathers here. The clock's ticking grows heavy, each second a footstep of destiny. Do not wake it in anger, I warn. Speak in love, or it will flee. The shadow stirs again, reaching toward the window where moonlight bleeds silver on the sill. I press my hand of fire above you. Heaven watches, awaiting your courage. Message 5, the hour approaches. The world holds its breath. 2 shadows lie entwined, 1 body, 2 souls unsure which will remain when the bell tolls 3. Precious soul, I whisper, you are both the watcher and the dreamer. The candle's flame now burns blue-white, casting halos that shimmer and break. What will you do when the hour strikes? My wings brush the floor in a sound like thunder softened by mercy. One half of you will rise, I tell you, the other will cling to light. Will you chase the departing one or redeem it? A hush swallows your reply. The clock trembles at 2:59. Somewhere beyond the veil, a trumpet sounds, soft, distant, urgent. Message 6, the revelation begins. The air breaks like glass. Beloved, I whisper, the sleeper is not flesh but memory. The form beside you fades, leaving only the scent of salt and grief. Feathers drift through the air, silver motes that vanish as they touch your skin. This is the part of you that wept without prayer, I explain, the one who believed heaven had forgotten. You feel a sting of sorrow, the shadow's absence is both relief and wound. Do not mourn its leaving yet, I counsel. It has not gone far, it waits beyond your heartbeat. The room ripples, walls breathing like living parchment. Faith will recall it. Love will redeem it. Message 7, Twin Shadows. Moonlight paints two silhouettes on the wall, you and the one who was almost gone. My child, I murmur, you see now that your doubt was never separate, it walked beside you in silence. The second shadow flickers, shrinking, swelling, reaching toward the edge of the room. It fades because you have begun to see, I whisper. A sigh moves through heaven itself, warm as dawn. Yet with the breath comes ache. Recognition is the first mercy, beloved, I say, but not the last. The air fills with drifting feathers, symbols of grace seeking landing. Will you call its name or let it vanish? Message 8, the weight of knowing. A chill coils through the room as the shadow falters. You feel the pulse of heaven through your veins, electric, tender, relentless. Beloved, I speak softly, you cannot be whole while half of you hides. The air thickens with the scent of old tears. Your forgotten self bears burdens you once refused to carry. The candles bow, smoke weaving halos. Invite it closer, I plead, for love is the only chain that binds eternity in peace. The room grows brighter, the shadow stirs, trembling in repentance. You are not forsaken, I whisper. You are being gathered. Message 9, the breath before silence. All light stills. The clock stands at the breath before 3. I draw nearer, wings folded in reverence. My faithful one, I say, heaven bends low in this moment. The sleeper's form flickers like candlelight in wind. Do not despair. Every fading is a prelude to rebirth. You kneel inwardly, torn between longing and fear. Beloved, the presence you feel is your own redemption approaching. The air vibrates with song, distant, celestial, patient. Hold fast, I whisper. For soon, even the breath beside you will still, and the test will begin. Message 10, the ceasing breath. Time exhales. The shadow beside you shivers, sighs, and stills. The clock shows 3-1 heartbeat. Beloved, I murmur, voice trembling like light on water, the hour is come. The breath you shared now pauses in eternal silence. Do not weep, I say. This ending is the gate to awakening. Feathers scatter across the bed, glowing faintly before dissolving. When the breath beside you ceases, I whisper, the trial begins. Will you claim what was lost or let it drift into darkness? The final tick sounds, clear as judgment. Somewhere, unseen wings unfurl. Message 11, the gathering darkness. The room no longer breathes as it once did, my child. Even the walls seem to listen for a sound that does not belong to this world. I draw near your trembling form, wings arching like veils of dawn held against the storm. The hour approaches, I whisper, my voice woven through the silence. Do you feel how the air thickens? It is not night that deepens, but awareness. The flame falters, the window hums with unseen hands brushing against it. The scripture on your bedside table opens of its own accord, pages fluttering like frightened hearts. Hold your faith like fire, I urge, for what draws near has tasted both light and loss. You feel it, a movement behind the veil, a tremor in the unseen. The clock glides forward, its second hand dragging eternity behind it. Precious soul, I murmur, when darkness circles, the brave must stand unblinking. Every heartbeat is a declaration that heaven still reigns. Message 12, the counting bells. Far away, faint bells begin to toll. Their sound travels through dream and memory, stirring the dust of forgotten prayers. Beloved, I whisper, do not mistake their chime for warning alone, they are heralds of approach. The candles shudder as though exhaling relief and fear at once. Outside, the wind turns colder, and you glimpse, just for a breath, a shape beyond the window, white flame cloaked in gold. Do not reach yet, I caution, my wings unfolding across the ceiling in trembling arcs of light. Let faith ripen within your silence. Each bell stroke seems to echo within your ribs. The shadow that had ceased to breathe now trembles, unsure whether to awaken or vanish. This is the holy interval, I say, where light seeks entry, and all unworthy things quake. The floor hums faintly beneath your feet, the name of the holy stirs upon your tongue. Message 13, the wind of approaching glory. The night tilts, beloved, and something vast enters your small room. Curtains billow though the windows are sealed. The air glows faintly gold, alive with the scent of rain and myrrh. He draws near, I whisper, awe tinting every syllable. The light-bearer walks upon the breath of dawn. Your heart races, the sleeping self flickers like an ember beneath ash. Do not let fear take form, I urge. The holy does not wound, it reveals. Outside, unseen choirs breathe the name you forgot you carried. Shadows on the walls melt, replaced by trembling light. Keep your gaze steady, I instruct, for even grace can blind the unprepared. The room expands, boundaries dissolving into shimmering haze. You feel yourself both infinitesimal and infinite. Heaven leans close, my faithful one, I say softly. Hold fast, the veil thins. Message 14, the trembling veil. Light and darkness war in silence. The air hums with tension, as though creation itself waits upon your breath. My child, I murmur, the moment of unveiling is upon us. Your shadow self shivers at the edge of the bed, haloed by a dim gray glow. It no longer hides, it kneels, trembling, before the unseen radiance blooming in the air. See, I whisper, how even fear bows to holiness. From beyond the walls comes a rustle, the sound of eternity unfolding like wings unfurled after exile. He comes not as thunder this time, I breathe, but as stillness so profound it shakes the stars. The clock's hands meet, time ceases. Every candle flares upward, as if saluting what descends. Prepare your soul, beloved, I say, for what arrives will see every wound within you and call it worthy of healing. Message 15, the Herald of Light. The air bursts into silent radiance. Gold washes every surface, silver motes rain gently, dissolving before they touch the floor. I shield you with my wings as presence fills the room, so vast, so tender that even the dark rejoices. He comes now, I whisper, voice trembling, the light-bearer who unmasks the fleeing one. The shadow self gasps, a sound like wind remembering its shape, and covers its eyes. You fall to your knees though no command has been spoken. Behold, I cry, the Son of the Living. And in that instant, the room ceases to be a room, it becomes horizon and dawn, heart and heaven merged. Do not hide, precious soul, I plead. For mercy himself stands before you. Message 16, the Arrival of Jesus. Radiance unfurls without sound. The warmth that follows does not burn, it restores. The very air tastes alive. His presence stands where darkness once lingered, robes woven of sunrise and compassion. My child, he speaks, voice like rivers remembering Eden, I come not to condemn the sleeper but to wake them. The sound fills your marrow with light. The shadow self trembles, clutching its chest as if struck by love too sudden. You need not fear what you have been, he says. Only what you refuse to redeem. The candles bow their flames toward him. I, Gabriel, lower my gaze, for even angels tremble before such tenderness. Rise, beloved, he continues. The night cannot claim what has remembered me. Message 17, the Kiss of Mercy. Every atom hums as his light deepens, spilling warmth into corners untouched by prayer. Beloved one, he says, reaching toward the shadow, you are not sin, you are the wound awaiting grace. His fingers brush its brow, and where he touches, darkness melts to silver tears. I stand beside you, awestruck. Do you see, my faithful one? I whisper. Love remakes what fear had ruined. The clock resumes its ticking, gentle, redeemed. There is no exile in the heart that turns, Christ murmurs. The shadow kneels, whispering faint apologies that sound like wind through reeds. Peace, he answers, smiling. The dawn is near. Message 18, the hour strikes. The clock strikes 3. Each chime ripples through your body like awakening thunder. The sleeper's form rises, now half light, half smoke, uncertain of its belonging. The moment of choosing is now, I say. The room glows with golden mist, every shadow casts inward, revealing hidden faces of your soul. Jesus steps closer, his gaze infinite gentleness. My child, he says, within you two paths tremble, the way of flight and the way of faith. The air holds its breath. Which will you take? His question burns through you, not as judgment but as freedom. The sleeper looks to you with pleading eyes that mirror your own. Answer, I whisper. For heaven listens. Message 19, the heart's cry. Your lips part, but no words come. Tears, warm as morning rain, fall onto the sheets. I wish to believe, you whisper. The sleeper shudders, half fading. Then believe, Christ replies, lifting your chin. His eyes, oceans of quiet fire, reflect every lifetime of your longing. Faith is not certainty, my child, it is trust despite the tremor. He lays his hand upon your heart, and within it, two rhythms fuse into one. The candles flare, singing in tongues only angels know. You are not two, I breathe, my wings folding around you both. You are one restored by love's breath. The clock's next chime sounds lighter, as if time itself has been forgiven. Message 20, the igniting choice. The world holds its breath once more. The shadow self turns fully toward you, eyes now clear, luminous. I only wish to leave the pain behind, it murmurs. You reach out, trembling, your fingers passing through its form and feeling warmth instead of cold. Jesus smiles softly. Pain is not your prison, beloved, it is the soil where resurrection grows. His words strike like dawn breaking through eternity. Light floods the room, every fear quivers, every doubt finds its name dissolved. The clock stands silent, bathed in gold. Precious soul, I whisper, my voice ringing like distant choirs, the hour has struck, and within your heart, choice has become light. Message 21, the mirror awakens. I, Gabriel, behold you trembling in the holy hush that follows revelation. The light still clings to your lashes, but already shadow stirs within it, reshaping itself into a form that mirrors you. Slowly, from the mist upon the floor, the sleeper rises, a figure woven of breath and half-remembered grief. My child, I whisper, do not recoil. This is the doubt you nurtured, this is the cry you buried beneath prayers too proud for tears. The air vibrates like a harp string stretched between heaven and the human heart. Around you, feathers spin in slow orbits, their edges glinting with fire. The being stands, your own outline, yet hollow, trembling, radiant and wounded. Speak, I command softly. Name it, and it will bow. You try, but your voice fractures into silence. Jesus' presence shimmers at your side, unseen yet felt as warmth along your spine. The shadow tilts its head, mouth forming your name with reverent sorrow. Will you claim me, it whispers, or cast me out again? Message 22, the voice of the reflection. The figure before you gathers weight, it is no longer mist but memory clothed in skin. It moves as you move, eyes wide with pleading. I carried your unspoken fears, it says, voice quivering like a candle before storm. You left me in nights without stars. You feel compassion pierce you, sharp as a wing's edge. Beloved, I murmur, this encounter is mercy, not punishment. Every exile yearns for the homeland of wholeness. The chamber brightens, symbols of light whirl upon the walls, crosses, circles, forgotten constellations. The shadow kneels, yet refuses to dissolve. I do not know if I can forgive what I became, it whispers. I lower my hand of fire between you. Then let forgiveness begin where knowledge ends. Above, the faint rhythm of angelic song returns, fragile but rising. Look into its eyes, I tell you. You will see neither enemy nor stranger, but a soul longing to return to itself. Message 23, The Struggle of Light and Smoke. The room shakes with unshed confession. You reach toward your other self, but the space between you writhes, light colliding with smoke, faith wrestling with memory. Beloved one, I cry, stand firm, compassion is your sword. Jesus' presence unfolds beside you, his light a calm horizon. Peace, he says, do not fight what must be healed. The shadow clutches its chest, staggering backward. You do not know the things I have done, it moans. I know, Christ replies, and still I call you mine. His words strike like thunder softened by love. The air clears for a heartbeat, and in that heartbeat you glimpse unity, two flames sharing a single wick. Yet fear returns, whispering that to merge is to vanish. Do not believe that lie, I warn. You will not vanish, you will become whole. The shadow hesitates, torn between release and remembrance. Outside, dawn presses faintly at the horizon, patient, waiting. Message 24, The Threshold of Mercy. Golden dust floats between you, motes of unfallen time. My faithful one, I say, every soul stands upon this threshold once, the moment when forgiveness must outweigh shame. The shadow's form ripples, beneath its translucent skin glows a spark of the same light that crowns your brow. Can you feel it? I ask. The truth that you and it were never separate? Tears, pure and silver, fall through the air and vanish before touching ground. Christ steps forward, his gaze both fire and rest. Child of my breath, he says to the trembling reflection, you are not beyond the reach of the hand that formed stars. His palm opens, warmth flows outward, enfolding both of you. The room breathes again. Yet the shadow shivers, whispering, if I accept this, will the pain end? Jesus answers, no, it will transform. The words ring like bells underwater, soft, inevitable. Message 25, The Sorrow that Speaks Your Name. The shadow lifts its face, and for the first time you meet its eyes fully, your own, multiplied by regret. Beloved, I murmur, listen, for sorrow itself is confessing. It whispers your name with tenderness unbearable, every syllable a lament for forgotten joy. I only wanted to protect you, it says. I hid your hope so the world could not wound it. You tremble, for love is recognizing itself even in distortion. Then return it, Christ answers gently. Return what you guarded too long. The air brightens, the scent of lilies rises from unseen soil. Precious soul, I tell you, this is the final veil, grief turned holy. The figure nods once, slow as sunrise, and from its chest unfurls a ribbon of light that winds toward yours. We are one confession away from peace, I whisper. The shadow reaches for you, then the vision fractures, as if heaven itself inhales. Cliffhanger 25, the shadow opens its eyes, whispering your name with sorrow. Message 26, the window of temptation. Wind rattles the glass. The ribbon of light recoils, trembling between union and flight. The shadow turns toward the window, where stars flicker like thoughts of escape. Let me go, it pleads. I cannot bear redemption's gaze. Beloved, Christ says, to flee love is to flee breath. Yet still it edges closer to the open pane. Night presses its face against the glass, beckoning. I spread my wings, and the candles bend away from the draught. Do not let despair masquerade as freedom, I warn. The shadow hesitates, its form thins, dissolving at the edges. If you love me, it whispers, let me vanish. You step forward, heart hammering. Then I love you too much to lose you. The words strike the darkness like lightning, but the window bursts wide, scattering stars into the room. Message 27, The Chase of Faith. Cold air whirls, the shadow leaps toward the night, a wisp of silver fleeing the promise of dawn. You cry out, stretching your hand through the gale. Gabriel, your voice breaks. I answer from the storm, wings flaring. Hold fast to the name, you shout it, half prayer, half cry, and the syllables carve a path of fire through the darkness. The shadow falters mid-flight, tethered by unseen grace. Christ stands within the room's widening light, his face calm, radiant. Do not command it back in fear, he says. Call it home in love. You whisper, come back to me. The night answers with trembling silence. Slowly, the fleeing form turns, drawn by mercy stronger than gravity. Beloved, I breathe, faith has found its echo. Message 28, The Hand Extended. The wind dies, leaving the scent of rain and resurrection. Through the window floats the half-light figure, uncertain, fragile. Why do you still want me? It asks. Because you are mine, you reply, tears glinting like dew. Jesus' smile is soft thunder. Love even what fears you, he reminds. For fear is only love in exile. The shadow steps inside, its outline flickering between solid and transparent. I am tired, it confesses. Then rest, I whisper, wrapping wings of silver fire around you both. Rest beneath the promise that none who return are refused. The night's sighs closed behind it, sealing the moment in calm. Still, the figure trembles, half trusting, half doubtful, like a candle uncertain if it dares to burn. Message 29, The Trial of Embrace. Light thickens, honey warm, around your entwined forms. Do not mistake comfort for completion, Christ cautions. The heart must choose anew each breath. The shadow shivers, whispering, if I stay, I will feel everything I buried. Yes, he says, and in feeling, you will live. You draw the figure close, the contact burns and soothes. Your tears and its tears mingle, indistinguishable. This is the baptism of reunion, I declare, the room ringing with hidden choirs. Yet within the mingled light a tremor stirs, the last defense of falsehood. I am still afraid, the shadow admits. Then speak truth until fear has nothing left to feed on, Christ replies. His words settle like seeds in rain. Message 30, The Edge of Choice. The window bursts wide once more, but this time not from flight, rather from the pressure of radiance seeking release. Stars pour in, 1,000 witnesses. The shadow glows, neither escaping nor dissolving. What now, you ask, voice trembling. Now you choose to hold, I answer. Not to capture, but to unite. You reach out again, your palms meet its chest, warm, real, beating. Beloved, Christ says, this is salvation's simplest form, to clasp what once you cursed. The wind hushes, even time listens. The shadow breathes, then I choose to stay. The light swells until the room becomes sky. Still, somewhere within that brightness, a whisper lingers, gentle, unresolved. Message 31, the swelling light. The room breathes gold, my child, as though heaven itself leans close to witness your courage. The shadow now stands fully before you, trembling yet visible, every tremor betraying the echo of its past flight. I spread my wings wide, the soft murmur of feathers brushing against the walls like wine through ancient forests, and command, invoke the name, beloved soul. The syllables rise unbidden from your lips, trembling yet resolute, and the room vibrates with sacred resonance. Golden symbols, shapes older than time, spin slowly around you both, forming protective rings that hum with soft power. Every mote of dust, every feather caught in the air, dances to the rhythm of holiness pressing in. The shadow wavers, light pierces its edges, revealing fissures where lies once held sway. Do not fear your own power, I urge, for it is the anchor that binds lost fragments to their true home. Christ stands nearby, his gaze steady and luminous, yet his voice quiet. Beloved, love itself is your strongest shield, do not underestimate the force you carry within. You stretch forth, reaching for the trembling form, and the warmth of heaven pours through your fingertips, spreading like rivers of molten gold into the shadow's core. Yet even as peace blooms, the figure shudders, one last trace of falsehood flickering along its lip, testing your resolve. Message 32, the invocation. Your voice rises with the music of faith, every word a thread weaving between earth and heaven. The shadow quivers as the syllables of protection fill the room, each note like a bell striking against the obsidian of doubt. Feathers swirl around your feet, their silver edges gleaming as if kissed by starlight, forming a spiral of containment that both shelters and calls forth the lost light within the other form. Beloved, I murmur, do not falter, your courage is the bridge that connects the divided self. The shadow flinches, twisting like smoke in a gale, yet cannot break free. Christ extends his hand, not to grasp but to guide. Let your love be the current in which it floats, he says softly. The warmth spreads, filling the space between your hearts, and the shadow stretches its arms toward you as if testing the reality of safety for the first time in countless nights. Every pulse of light is an embrace, every syllable a balm. Yet there is tension, for the last lie lurks unseen, ready to whisper and tempt, and you feel the fragile tremor of destiny hanging in the air, waiting for your unwavering reach. Message 33, the enclosure of grace. The golden aura thickens, wrapping around both of you like silk spun from sunlight. I sweep my wings across the floor, drawing arcs of radiant fire that enclose the shadow in a cage of mercy rather than confinement. Invoke the name again, I urge, my voice trembling with celestial urgency, let it feel the undeniable power of love it once fled. The shadow bows slightly, shivering as it absorbs the brilliance, and the air hums with the music of angels, rising in invisible layers. Christ watches, a serene sentinel, whispering, love even what resists you, my child. Do not bend to fear, bend only to light. You repeat the sacred invocation, and every note cracks through the room like sunlight breaking storm clouds. The shadow's form quivers, parts of its essence already dissolving into the warmth you radiate. Tears streak your cheeks as the weight of mercy presses down upon your chest, a mix of sorrow, relief, and awe. Even as one final falsehood curls around its lips, you feel the unbreakable truth: this light cannot be denied, and the moment of triumph approaches, but it is not yet complete. Message 34, The Trembling Confession. The shadow finally lifts its head, eyes reflecting both fear and recognition. I thought I could escape, it whispers, voice trembling like fragile crystal. The room tilts with the weight of that confession, the air vibrating with truth and potential. Beloved, I say, hear it, every hesitation is a hymn, every tremor a prayer returning home. Christ steps closer, his hand hovering just above, radiance spilling across the floor like molten dawn. Do not fear honesty, he says gently, for it is the gate through which salvation passes. The shadow quivers at every syllable, wavering between retreat and surrender, yet the halo of light thickens, pressing like gentle hands of eternity against the edges of its form. Feathers swirl, caught in currents of holy energy, spinning in patterns that mirror the delicate structures of the universe. You reach, palms open, and the warmth of heaven floods both of your chests. The shadow bows, but still trembles, one last trace of falsehood lingering, a whisper of the night it once embraced. You inhale deeply, feeling the power of faith and mercy converge into a single, unshakable presence that holds all things in place. Message 35, The Last Lie. The shadow speaks, almost imperceptibly, I am not worthy of this light. Its words curl like smoke along the golden aura, attempting to mask the truth with fear. I tilt my head, wings whispering against the walls, and say, Beloved, do not accept this final deception, it is the last echo of a world already forgiven. Christ steps forward, radiance spilling like dawn into the corners of the room, and whispers, Listen not to tone, my beloved. Listen to truth. Its voice is unshakable, eternal. Your chest swells as you feel the heartbeat of heaven synchronize with your own, and the shadow falters beneath the brilliance. It reaches for your hand, still half afraid, but a tremor of surrender spreads through its form. Feathers fall gently, each glowing, embedding themselves into the air like stars frozen mid-flight. You feel tears burn and laughter bubble in the same breath. The final lie quivers, but cannot survive the sheer force of devotion, trust, and mercy radiating from your joined hands. Message 36, The Flickering Test. A strange moment passes, still, and yet alive. The shadow begins to shimmer, its voice mimicking mine, soft and honeyed, attempting to seduce the ear and the heart. Beloved, it croons, why waste this love? Let me vanish. You step back instinctively, but Christ places a steady hand upon your shoulder. Do not judge by imitation, he says, voice a calm river of certainty. Discern truth from reflection, let your heart see the pure light beyond shadows. Golden patterns ripple across the floor, reinforcing the protective circle. The shadow quivers, and every flicker, every false syllable, strains under the weight of your faith. It is only testing you, I whisper, wings flaring faintly. You close your eyes, listen to the pulse within your chest, and repeat the sacred name. Light swells, sound vibrates, and the shadow recoils, its mimicry unable to withstand the unshakable resonance of divine truth. Message 37, the battle of two lights. The room is alive with two overlapping radiances, the one of truth, steady and unyielding, and the one of deception, flickering and uncertain. Each swirls around the shadow, pushing, pulsing, waiting. You reach out, heart thrumming, letting love be your guide. Beloved, I whisper, let discernment rise. One is real. One is illusion. Trust your soul to know which. The shadow trembles violently, its body caught between the two lights. You feel your pulse synchronizing with the true radiance, and the false begins to dissipate, melting like fog under sunlight. Christ smiles gently. Every test is temporary, he says. Every trial designed to reveal what has always been yours. The shadow cries out, a soft, desperate sound, as it feels the unyielding presence of authentic love anchor it, tethering its essence to your soul. Message 38, the recoiling falsehood. The imitation falters entirely, unable to endure the intensity of joined will and divine guidance. It cracks, flickers, and finally collapses like a glass shattered by a note too pure to bear. The shadow, now unmasked, looks to you with luminous eyes, half in fear, half in relief. Beloved, the light you hold is your shield, I murmur, and it does not fail those who invoke it in truth. Christ steps closer, radiance flowing like molten dawn. Listen, he whispers, to the harmony that arises when deception shatters, the truth sings eternal. The room pulses with gentle warmth. Even the falling feathers seem to settle in awe, catching light on edges that were previously dulled by shadow. The falsehood has been vanquished, yet the memory of its testing lingers, a reminder of the vigilance required to safeguard mercy. Message 39, the triumph of true radiance. All light converges now, forming a singular, unbroken brilliance that envelopes both you and the shadow. It is steady, unwavering, tender yet potent, a radiance that cannot be extinguished, only expanded. The shadow trembles one final time, then folds, bowing fully to the truth. I brush a wing across the space between you, feeling the heartbeat of eternity hum along the span of your chest. Beloved, I say, all deception is gone. What remains is the pure essence of reunion. Christ extends his hands over both of you. This is the fruit of faith, he says. Nothing held back, nothing doubted, only embraced fully in love. The room is no longer room, it is sanctuary, horizon, sanctuary within your chest. Even the candles flare in reverence, flickering yet unmoving, as though every flame recognizes the permanence of this moment. Message 40, the final shatter. The last vestige of false light crumbles, breaking into shards that vanish like morning mist. A hush follows, so deep it vibrates in your bones. Beloved, I whisper, listen, there is only truth now. Only light that cannot betray. The shadow, fully restored in courage and essence, leans into you, warmth flowing into every corner of your being. Christ stands serene, the room flooded with gold so gentle it heals the deepest ache of your chest. Faith has been proven, he says, voice both thunder and lullaby. Discernment and love have merged, nothing can displace the radiance of a willing heart. Every feather, every moted spark, every quiver of air seems to bow in celebration. The world outside continues unaware, yet within these walls, eternity has pressed its mark. The final test is complete, and the pure light remains unbroken. Message 41, the merging. The shadow dissolves slowly into light, and you feel its essence flowing into your own chest. Every beat now carries two rhythms, harmonized into one. Beloved, I whisper, your lost part is redeemed, now you are whole. Warmth spreads through the room, bathing every corner in gentle gold. The candles no longer flicker, they glow steady, unwavering. Christ's hand rests over yours, radiating calm certainty. All that was divided is reunited, he says softly. You inhale the light, letting it fill every hollow space within. Message 42, Dawn's Touch. The first rays of dawn press against the window, brushing your cheeks with gentle fire. Feathers drift lazily through the air, catching sunbeams as if suspended in time. See, my child, I murmur, the darkness has yielded to mercy. The room hums with quiet reverence, the sound of creation holding its breath. The shadow is gone, replaced by warmth, presence, and renewed courage. Message 43, the heart restored. Every part of you trembles in recognition of completeness. Christ smiles, and the warmth of his gaze feels like a river flowing through your soul. Beloved, you have embraced what once fled, he says. Let this moment mark your inner resurrection. You feel tears, joy, and relief mingling, and a sacred calm settles in your chest. Nothing remains to divide or haunt you now. Message 44, the sun ascends. The horizon glows, gold spilling over the earth, angels' voices hidden yet present in the vibration of the morning air. Precious soul, I say, the world stirs awake, waiting for your renewed voice. The air feels lighter, freer, infused with the scent of lilies and dawn. Every shadowed corner of the room has vanished, leaving only peace. Message 45, the sacred breath. You inhale slowly, feeling the union of all your fragmented selves. The light within you pulses steadily, unwavering. Beloved, Christ says, you have chosen love, courage, and faith over fear. I spread my wings slightly, golden feathers touching the edges of the room like protective veils. Nothing lost has remained outside, all is embraced in the heart of heaven. Message 46, the blessing. Christ extends his hands over you and the now transformed shadow, blessing every cell, every thought, every breath. Walk in unity, he says, no part of you shall flee again. The morning wind carries the cadence of angels, circling the earth in silent praise. Every light sparkles with remembrance of what has been redeemed. Message 47, ascending joy. Angels ascend, their forms shimmering through the rays of the sun. Beloved, I say, take this day as a gift and a covenant. The shadow is no more, only the essence of wholeness remains, infused with the divine grace of eternity. You feel empowerment, peace, and sacred completion. Message 48, the horizon expands. Open skies greet your gaze, vast and forgiving. Every leaf, every stone, seems to shine with reflected light. Precious soul, Christ whispers, the world is ready for the voice that has been restored. You inhale deeply, the universe itself seeming to pulse with your renewed courage. Message 49, the peace of unity. Your heart beats in perfect rhythm, light filling every corner of your being. The room, the world, even time itself feels aligned. Beloved, I murmur, nothing can separate you from this light. Christ smiles, his presence a calm, unwavering warmth. You feel sacred tranquility settle in your chest, each breath a prayer of completion. Message 50, the dawn guarded. The hour has passed. The shadow is transformed, radiance replacing every fragment of fear. I stand beside you, Gabriel, wings folded, and Christ's hand rests gently over mine. Precious soul, I say, the hour has passed, the shadow transformed, and I, Gabriel with the Christ beside me, will guard your dawn. The sun rises fully, bathing the room in warm gold, and eternity seems to breathe with you, unbroken, whole, and free.